Alrighty guys, it is box day. This came in today. I'm not sure what it is, but the reason why I haven't been making no videos is because I've been very sick for the past week, and yeah, I had no energy to do anything. Actually, I had fever and so many other things, so I'm feeling better. So I'm very excited for this, and I'll be back, guys. I just gotta remove my personal information. Alrighty, so now that I got that off from right there, hopefully it should open up. And next, oh, I know, I think I know what this is. Yes. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Damn, this is actually heavier. It is the, wow, this is huge and more heavier than I thought. It is the NECA Godzilla V2 2019 or Supercharged. And I gotta say, the packaging to the side is larger, it's more thicker. It's way heavier for sure. Wow. Ooh, this looks super awesome. I'm liking this. Really cool. Alrighty, boys. Let's open this bad boy up. And we're about to release the Supercharged Godzilla 2019. Ah man, I've been waiting for this. Same instructions as the original, nothing new. So let's check this out. Hopefully it's an improvement from the original version. Ah, no wonder. Okay. So no wonder the packaging was actually more thicker. Ooh, that smell. Actually, that smells really toxic, like plastic. So that's why the packaging was actually larger, because it has the atomic blast version right here. And yeah, definitely the packaging is a lot thicker, heavier than the original. Even I think this is the most heavier version that we have seen from Godzilla King of the Monsters. Oh no, man, this is going to be a little bit tough. I'll be back with you. Alright, now that I took him out from his packaging, wow, he feels warm, really warm. That's the tail right there. Atomic blast version, and to the side you have his extra piece right here. So first impressions, wow, he feels a little bit different than my original. Wow, I'm definitely loving the brand new colors on this figure. Oh, I can definitely tell the brand new paint job fits this figure a lot better. You have black on his feet instead of that greenish type of military color. This color fits him way better, even on his nails or claws, whatever, and his face. This just looks way better because of the color. Whoa, I think his mouth is stuck. I don't know why that is. You guys see that? It's stuck. I gotta fix for that anyways. But yeah, this definitely looks like, wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. I'm not gonna bend this over because I don't want this piece to break on me. It's just, oh man. Okay. So hopefully it's easy to put back on. Okay, so I think I got it back on. Okay, I did. So this part fell. Okay, so my first impressions on this figure, it is definitely an improvement from the original 2019 version. The differences are huge right here. Color wise and all of that, I definitely see a big improvement on his claws, feet, whatever. It's a black instead of that greenish that really didn't fit the original. Also for his hands right here, of course the new color is welcome. I think this looks fantastic on this figure. The eyes look a lot better, obviously, because there's no pupils and all of that. So I think this version is already an improvement from the original, but I do have problems with his mouth. It really doesn't want to open that much. And ignore my crybaby cat in the background. But yeah, so far I'm liking this figure. Of course it does include the atomic blast, and wow, this feels very light. I was not expecting this to be super light like this. Okay, this feels very light as well. I thought it was going to be a much heavier material, but yeah, I'll be back guys and I'll give you guys my thought. Okay, so what you want to use right here is a blow dryer or hair dryer. So you want to warm up the tail, that way you don't have a difficult time putting in the ball joint on your figure. Make sure to do this throughout his body, that way the ball joints on your figure get loose enough where they don't break or you don't have any problems with your figure. I always recommend you to do this. If you don't have one, using water will help your figure to get loose as well. So make sure to do that, but be careful. Don't overdo it too much. Maybe you want to do 2 passes with the blow dryer here and there, front, back, forwards, every single spot that you can, especially on his tail. That way you don't have a difficult time attaching the other piece to his tail end. There's still no movement here. I gotta go back and fix that. His mouth seems to be opening a lot better for sure, but it's still going back into place, so I might have to put something on his mouth to hold its pose so it doesn't maintain the old pose where it just closes. You see that? So this part just does not want to move, and I'm guessing it's due to the paint stuck inside. Okay, so there we go. With the heat, or it's getting loose and all of that, so move it around, but be super careful. You don't want to break your figure. And this part actually fell on me, so I'm actually gonna remove this and go back and use a blow dryer on his whole body for a second time to make sure everything gets loose and doesn't break on me. So you want to move the articulation, that way everything is back into place. And let me see. So you don't want to break anything, so just be careful. With this arm, I can already tell I have a problem since it popped out the first time. But his mouth, look at that problem. It closes back, so I'm not sure what's the deal right there, but I'll be back. So while looking at this figure, I noticed that just handling it, it feels different than the original. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying this figure a lot more than this version right here. So there's already huge differences between both of them. So I'm not saying the original is a bad figure, but I don't know. I'm just liking this blue color a lot better. The supercharged, it just pops to me than the original version. In some ways, this material feels different. I don't know why. Especially the mouth area right here. But let me examine this figure. Let me take a few hours, maybe a day, to really think about this figure and my thoughts and give you guys a review for the future. But so far that's my impressions. I'm really liking this figure. The color vibrates a lot on this, and I really do like that. Definitely this should have been the first figure that we should have got with the original. I think the color is a lot darker here, but you know what, now we have two figures that look different from each other, and that's good because you want to have different figures looking unique from each other, not the same figure over and over again. And I think this and the original figure right here capture that perfectly. Two different versions for two different styles of people out there. And yeah guys, I'll be back with my review and my thoughts. Well, looking at the new packaging, you can tell this box is a lot thicker. It's a lot bigger, I believe, in size, and that's due because this is the V2 supercharged version that includes two different effects, the blast and the fire coming out from Godzilla or his atomic breath. That is why this box is more thicker and heavier in size, and I do like that. This feels like a premium type of figure with the cover of Godzilla supercharged. It is a very beautiful cover. This would have to be one of my favorites out there. And I suppose for a lot of people, this will be the Godzilla to pick up due to the box size, the cover, everything just looks very beautiful versus the original design that we got with the 2019 from NECA. This definitely fits the style art a lot better with Rodent and Mothra. The V2 looks fantastic. And I already saw the Burning Godzilla cover box and all of that, like I think it was like 4 months ago or 5 months ago. I was the first one actually to cover that. So stay tuned for that, guys. Inside of the box, when you open the window display, you have a nice picture of Godzilla V2 with his display. It looks very beautiful. This hands down has to be one of my favorites out there from all of the cover arts that we have gotten so far, and this figure just looks so beautiful. You cannot tell me this looks fantastic. Now for articulation, I won't be going over articulation. If I do, it's going to be towards the end of this video because I know most of you already know the articulation this figure has, but if you're new, I think I'll cover that towards the end of this video. So after taking some time and reviewing this figure for myself, I'm about to give you my review. Keep in mind this is my personal opinion, and my opinion or my thoughts may be different from yours or your figure, since the issues that I have on my figure could be different from your issues, so it will vary from there on. So I personally think if you didn't get the original version of Godzilla 2019, this is a perfect opportunity to pick this figure up. I think it offers an incredible paint job that is really outstanding, and on top of that you have the addition of two brand new effects, or one effect for Godzilla Supercharged, and this is the special color version or just the supercharged version that you saw in Godzilla King of the Monsters. And I personally think the issues that we had on the original Godzilla 2019, this one fixes all the issues that I personally had with the first version or the first run with that figure. You guys saw that the box is much bigger, it feels heavier. I definitely enjoy the box art on this figure. It's one of my favorite ones so far. And on top of that, for some reason, it's just a satisfying feeling of holding this figure on your hands versus the original. Something about this material, I could be wrong, but it just feels different from the previous version that we saw. I don't know, but it just feels really good to hold it on your hands. It's very impressive with all of the paints that this figure has, to vary the supercharged version or give out that feeling that it's glowing like right here in the poster version. And I really do like that. And one of my concerns with this figure was actually, okay, so I noticed he doesn't have any translucent spikes. How will they achieve the glow effect that Godzilla Supercharged has in the movie, especially with his eyes and his body and all of that? So I was thinking to myself, that's going to be a very difficult task for them, or a job for them, because if they mess up, then it's definitely not going to look like he's glowing. And I have to say, I am very impressed, and they definitely deliver on that part. Every single paint on this figure, it just gives you the appearance that this figure is actually glowing, and it just gives it that feeling that this figure is actually alive and glowing with multiple colors here and there. You see the veins popping throughout his body, giving you a sign that energy is flowing throughout his body, that he's overwhelmed with so much energy that you see all those little veins on his legs, his upper body, and it's very unique with this figure, and I do love that. And I know a lot of people, including me, wonder, would this figure benefit even more with translucent spikes? Probably yes, because they already did a fantastic job with multiple colors on this figure to give it that aesthetic that it's glowing. And I think if they would have went with the Burning Godzilla type of style, translucent spikes, that would have been even better, because in the night people could have installed lights inside, or maybe just put like a light behind this figure, and it would have looked fantastic. Just think about the veins glowing in the dark. Wow, man, that would have gave you a very unique figure to have, something that actually feels special for once, And for NECA to even do a special color version from all of their previous special color versions, I am very impressed with this one, even though it doesn't have any translucent spikes on it, because it still compensates you for the amazing paint job on here. You see multiple colors like a shiny blue, metallic, baby blue. It's just very impressive, and it captures the colors or the beast that we saw in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it goes all the way through his eyes, inside of his body, flowing throughout his body, all the way down to his tail, and that is very impressive. This is one of my favorite figures from NECA so far. In terms of Godzilla, definitely one of my favorites. The eyes even look like they are actually glowing, or like glow in the dark supercharged version, and I definitely love that about this figure. I don't know why they couldn't do the same thing for the original figure. I do understand that sculpting eyes, painting eyes, it is very difficult, especially hand painting and all of that. Now, if you haven't noticed already, on top of the magnificent blue that this figure has with multiple colors, it also has a much darker black on this figure, and I think this fits him very good because it gives him the nighttime version. As you see in the poster and right here, he came out during the night, and I think this represents this version very well. Now, the cons with this figure, with my figure specifically, and this doesn't apply to your figure, I told you this varies from figures and all of that. This is my personal opinion, my problems. And I noticed that when I took them out of the packaging, this part of his arm was very loose and it actually popped out. And I noticed, you guys can see how there's a huge gap right here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a huge gap right there, and that's not normal. I'm doing the same pose with both of them, and you can see already this part seems to be much loose. There's a bigger gap, and look, this arm right here pops out easily. So from what I can tell, it has some type of glue in here or something to keep it inside and secure, and it seems to be off already, like it's not there anymore. And the same could be told for this section right here. I'm not sure if it's glue or just paint that got stuck there, but this arm does fall very easily on my figure. On top of that, this arm was very stiff due to the paint stuck inside of this part or this area right here, so it was very difficult. Now if your figure has this problem, I do recommend you to use a blow dryer, hair dryer, heat it up for a few minutes, maybe a few seconds depending, or you could use hot water. Leave it in hot water and then take it out. Obviously be careful to not burn yourself. But yes, this is an issue with my figure and my figure only. I'm not sure if other people have the same issue as me, but I will be talking to NECA about this and see if they can probably fix it, or maybe I can get a different figure, because there's no point of me gluing this figure since it is a ball joint. Obviously it's meant to move and all that, but even though it goes back in very easily, it falls as well very easily. So that is the only problem that I do have with this figure, or should I say the second problem, because on top of that, you guys saw that, well, let me see, I think it's fixed. I had a problem where his mouth just wouldn't stay open, and I think it's because he was very fresh or something, so his mouth would automatically go up slowly until it was closed. So that was my second complaint, but it seems like it's fixed. And I tried using a blow dryer, that kind of worked, but it was super soft and it kept going back to the same place over and over again. The other way that I discovered to fix this issue, if you have it, is to get his atomic blast and leave it on his mouth for a few minutes. Let the material get used to his mouth being open, and that should fix it. Use the blow dryer, heat it up, and then attach the atomic blast on his mouth, and that should fix that issue. If it doesn't fix that issue, I would suggest you to use heat on it, not burn it, obviously not that, like a blow dryer, and then use very cold water with ice and leave it in that same position with his mouth open, and that should fix it as well. Other than that, I don't have any other issues with this figure. Actually, he's not as loose as my original figure from his back, because I know a lot of people, and I just don't like seeing this figure be posed like this. I don't know why a lot of people review this figure like this and this pose, like it just looks so weird. I just cannot stand that pose, honestly. Like, he just falls over when I see reviews. Same thing that happened to me right now, so I like putting my figure like this. Now, another new addition that this figure has on top of the new paint job on his spikes, his overall body, is his claws, or whatever, right here, his feet. So he no longer has the traditional greenish military color that the original version had. Now, same could be told for his claws right here. So it's a shiny black, and this just looks so much better than the original. I don't know, but this color material just feels different to me in some way. I could be totally wrong, but it just feels different. I told you guys, the issues that the original figure had, this figure definitely takes away all of the issues that I had with the past figure. The eyes look freaking badass. They look amazing. The paint job, the sculpture, I really didn't have any issues with the sculpture and all of that. And I do know that it's kind of inaccurate and you guys can already see differences. But you know, at the end of the day, I do like that this figure is kind of stylized with this spike, because you guys can see he has much longer spikes than he does in this poster. So check out his spikes. That's how they look. Now that's how the poster version looks. So obviously these spikes are not as long as in the poster version, and same could be told right here. You guys see a huge difference. I know this could be an issue for people. I know some people don't like their figures to look stylized or inaccurate, and I totally understand that. But for my case, this is a plus, because it makes this figure different from the Monster Arts version, which the Monster Arts version does follow this pattern. After I was comparing both the NECA, the original, and the Monster Arts version, I told you guys that I definitely enjoy more the Monster Arts version, but over time, just looking at the much longer spikes on the NECA version, it just reminded me of Godzilla 2000. He's one of my favorite designs, and I just enjoy this figure. He definitely looks badass. A lot of people were complaining back in 2014 that he had little spikes. Well, now this is the figure to get, in my opinion. You cannot go wrong with this figure. He has a beautiful box, beautiful figure, and I'll get to his atomic blast in a second. Now this NECA Godzilla Supercharged does feature effect parts. So you have this splash effect for his atomic blast, and this is the second part and the first part right here. And overall thoughts, so I haven't seen any company do something like this, so it's a plus for me. Overall, with the paint job, it looks really good. You have a white, almost like a shiny white with a matte white as well, with the baby blue. It's obviously translucent, so you go from white to blue and a lighter blue to give you that effect that, you know, it's glowing and all of that. Obviously this piece is a translucent piece, but I noticed it's hollow, so it's super light. It's not like the GMK or the other atomic blast figures that we have seen before. Totally hollow. And same could be told for this piece. I don't know, it just feels very lightweight. The overall paint job on every single atomic blast piece for the part A or part B, whatever you want to call it, this piece just looks very beautiful because you have a white almost washing onto a shinier version, like a shiny white or just a shine that it has. And I don't know if you guys can pick that up. I'm not sure if it's metallic blue or metallic shiny white, but it looks definitely awesome. You see the splash of the effect. This is obviously something unique as well. I haven't seen something like this from other companies, and you cannot attach this. Obviously it's not going to hold its pose. If you want to glue it, it's up to you. So you see this right here, right? It can kind of match the same pose and it kind of locks in. Other than that, it's not going to stay still, and I think they should have included like a little hole right here or something that could have hold its pose where you attach it like that, almost like the Monster Arts version. But I do understand that if they would have done that, they would have sacrificed this piece right here. It would have looked off with a circle. It just wouldn't be good. So obviously I understand why they went with that decision. They're super lightweight compared to other effects. Be super careful with this. If you want to pose your Godzilla right now, this one, obviously you see a hole right here that attaches to Godzilla's tongue, and I was thinking to myself, how are they going to attach a atomic blast, because it's very tricky. I definitely give props to NECA for actually doing that, and this is a technique that I myself applied with the original Godzilla 2019 and 2014, since he definitely doesn't have much space on his mouth. This is the only way that NECA could have done it, unless they resculpted the whole mouth area and did something unique to hold its pose. So you guys can see this area right here has like a little teeth marks right here. I don't know if you guys can pick that up. The teeth marks right there, and it's up to you how you want to pose him, but from what I know, that's how he should be posed, like that. So it just goes right in. So yeah, there you go. I think it doesn't matter which way you want to pose your figure, but obviously if you're super hardcore and everything matters to you, then this is the way to pose your figure with his atomic blast like that. It's not as secure as the past figures that NECA has done. Since this is attached on his tongue, it feels like it could fall off easier. What in the world was that? Oh my god. So I did notice that it's very difficult to actually hold his atomic blast, as I was telling you guys. So obviously you want to put his blast effect somewhere where Godzilla could hold his pose and it doesn't fall over. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for me. It should be something like this, peg hole or anything to hold this section right here. So that's how it looks. Maybe against a building or something like that. I do like the splash effect that it has, like it's almost creating an explosion with his power or his blast flowing throughout the building. That's obviously a unique effect right there, and I gotta give props to NECA yet again. Fantastic effect, fantastic figure, fantastic box. I think this is the best figure they have done in 2019 from their line in terms of Godzillas, of course, because my favorite figure would have to be Rodan, Mothra, and of course Godzilla. Now let's say you want to post this figure somewhere else. Is it possible? So here's what I mean. As soon as you put his atomic blast, it just falls back out of his mouth like that. So that's going to be a difficult task. I recommend you, like I told you, to leave your atomic blast on something like that, and then have Godzilla have his blast against it so it holds its pose. Right, so I'm going to show you how I would achieve this. Let's see. Maybe something like this. Now you want to attach his atomic blast onto Godzilla's mouth. Oh, his tongue is not in the correct way. His blast like that. And there you go. That's how I would have achieved this blast effect if I was myself. And you can replicate this with your figure. Just put it against something or a figure. Otherwise, it's going to fall off. Now with that being said, I wanted to show you the original version so you see the differences between both of them. So this is the supercharged version and this is the original Godzilla 2019 version, and you see that this one has a much darker color skin to himself. This one is rocking a more greenish, brownish with gray. And even his nails are different colors. I told you guys in earlier on, you guys can see he has more like greenish nails. The supercharged version has more black type of nails. You guys can see the differences right there, greenish, black. And also for the new edition, same on his feet, greenish type of military color paint that he has right here. And I don't really like this. I don't like this version. It just looks awkward. And yeah, sure, it's something different. It's to match his color and all of that. It's understandable, but this just looks so much natural and better. This is what the 2014 version actually had, and it just fits him a lot better. You guys can see the differences in skin color right here. It's huge. And for some reason, when I'm holding both of them like that, right? This one feels like a different material type of plastic. I don't know. And this one feels much, I don't know, satisfying on my hands. Where this one just feels, I don't know, kind of weird. It could be just me. But just look at that huge difference right there. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure right here that you have. And obviously spikes. Huge difference. Now the comparison, I will do a full-on comparison with both of them in a different video as soon as I get my review up, and the comparison will be with the NECA version and Monster Arts. That way you guys get a better idea. I do recommend you guys, if you had to choose between this one and the original, definitely get this one. It's the same price. The original has lazy eyes. It has a few problems here and there where the ball joints are not in the correct section. This one just feels like the much upgraded and improved version with new paint job and all of that. On top of that, his box design just looks really, really epic. Much thicker, like I told you guys. It just feels like a premium version compared to the previous version of the NECA Godzilla. And if this one looks as good as it does in person, I cannot wait for the Burning Godzilla. And yes, it is officially called Burning Godzilla. It is no longer called Fire Godzilla. If you got the movie, which actually came out today on the 27th, I believe, on his information for Godzilla, what used to be called Fire Godzilla is now officially named Burning Godzilla. So yes, the Burning Godzilla will have the same thing, just in orange and red, which I'm a big fan. You guys know that I love red. And if I love this version already, I cannot wait to see what the Burning Godzilla has to offer. and that's why I actually did this color right here to actually match Bernie Godzilla from NECA and other figures. And actually this table has a few Easter eggs here and there. I'm sure a lot of you guys missed hints back when I was doing my King Ghidorah review. I think if you guys look carefully, there's hints in the background of what's to come for the future of my channel, and it's not going to be obvious, but if you look very closely you'll find it. And I've been putting a lot of clues lately on my channel like that, where I don't tell you guys, I just leave the clues in the most unbelievable areas. And I think I forgot his name, but there was this guy who actually found out where Rodan was actually located. Like, this person was telling me, where is Rodan, are you getting Rodan? Nobody saw him, only one person. And that's the beauty of this, that only the person, or just a few people that have the mindset and look very carefully in the background will find those beautiful Easter eggs and hints of what's to come from my channel. So keep an eye out. And it's really more to give you guys my opinion and what I think, so I'm going to address this right now. The way I think of buying a figure, here's what I think. I am not like other YouTubers who buy every single figure that there is for a line, like Godzilla King of the Monsters or whatever Godzilla figure is out there. Most of the YouTubers, what they do to keep money going or more revenue for the channel is, as soon as a company announces a figure or a Godzilla figure, they buy that figure even if they don't enjoy the figure, they're not a fan of the design, and they just get it just because they want to do a review, and that's it. After that, it just sits in the shelf. They don't do anything else with it, and I am not like that. If I get a figure, right, if I'm going to buy something, it's because I enjoy the figure, I'm a fan of it, and I really don't see any point of me getting figures that I don't enjoy, that I know that will be a waste of money for me, because there's no point of me getting something that I know it's just not gonna work out for me. And you guys cannot make me buy something. Like, you guys cannot. I know I saw this guy saying, like, you better be careful with your words next time, because you said that we can pretty much tell you what figure to buy, and we demand you, or I am demanding you to buy this figure, otherwise don't talk next time. And that was so rude. It almost sounded like a threat. And let me tell you guys something, that guy misunderstood everything. What I meant when I was reviewing my King Ghidorah figure was that thanks to you guys, to your support, to the nice people out there who support my channel, you guys were helping me a lot. My channel has grown so much, and I have come a long way that I'm making enough money to buy the things that I want for my channel. Not the things that people are forcing me to buy, but the things that I enjoy and that I know that you guys want to see. Like, it's like me getting something that's so old and reviewing that. I know it's not gonna work for my channel. I know exactly what my channel likes and what people don't like and like, you know. It's like, how can I tell you? It's like me, if I review a car, you guys won't enjoy a car review because most of you guys are here for Godzilla. My channel is focused on Godzilla, so there's just no point of me getting something that I know that won't work for my channel. It's gonna be a waste of money. There's not gonna be revenue in return for me, and it's just like that, guys. You guys cannot force me or other people into doing things that they don't feel comfortable doing. That's not how life works, and you guys have to understand that. So if I got this figure, it is because I earned it. You will not believe how much time I put into my stop motions, into my reviews, into doing so many things. It might seem easy, but it's not easy. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of thinking, and hopefully for you guys who are starting a YouTube channel in the future, you'll be able to understand what I mean. It's not easy to maintain a YouTube channel. It takes a lot of effort, dedication, love, thinking. You have to have an imagination for what's to come for your future and all of that. my overall thoughts on this figure is that I do recommend you to buy this figure. It's one of the best from NECA, and they definitely deliver on this figure. This is the version, this is the definitive version to get over the standard version, I would have to say, at the moment. Now, the reason why I would give this figure a 10 out of 10 is because if I didn't have this arm problem where it falls off very easily on me when I do movement like that, this would be a perfect figure. So NECA has done a fantastic job yet again on this figure. It's one of the best ones at the moment for Godzilla. With the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2019, I think this one and the Burning Godzilla are going to be one of the best special color versions out there. So I do recommend this. Go out there and pick it up for yourselves. Make sure to subscribe and turn on bell notifications on my channel to never miss any reviews, news, or uploads for gameplay. Thank you guys for watching.